cases are very complex. Reliable professionals in the field of law are more and more. In this 320 hectares area, universities in Indonesia is built within meaningless. This is due to the arrangement of 25% for all academic activities and reserved green areas such as forest park, lake, gardens, and special lanes for cycling. According to Kia's World University Rankings 2017-2018, Universitas Indonesia is the best university in Indonesia and ranked 277 out of more than 4,000 universities in the world that have been examined. The origin of Universitas Indonesia has already existed since 1849, in the period when Nusantara, the former name of Indonesia, was under the Dutch colonialism. The Faculty of Law of Universitas Indonesia is one of the total 14 faculties in Universitas Indonesia, one vocational education program, and 2 postgraduate programs. Built in 1909 within the Recht School by the Dutch colonial government, its status was promoted to the Hoge School, or Higher Education Institution of Law, in October 28, 1924. This Faculty of Law is one of the oldest faculties in Universitas Indonesia and also the first law school in Indonesia. As one of the most influential faculty of laws in Indonesia, the Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia determines to be the source of knowledge by producing reliable professionals in law and justice enforcement. Ever since its establishment along its journey, Universitas Indonesia creates important and famous personage in the field of law. The Faculty of Law at Universitas Indonesia offers various bachelor programs that comprise regular class, parallel class, international class that cooperates with several universities abroad and prepares students to meet the challenge of globalization. The partners from several countries, among others, University, the Netherlands, University of Groningen, the Netherlands, Leiden University, the Netherlands, Erasmus University of Rotterdam, the Netherlands, the National University of Singapore, University of Canberra, Australia, and Kobe University, Japan. The Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia also has a double degree program that cooperates with several well-known universities abroad. Graduates are entitled to obtain 2 degrees from 2 universities, Bachelor of Laws and LLB.
So overall, I think it's incredible bonus and very successful, as well as the feature of classes and activities. I would just make sure understanding students, so international students from anywhere else to come here and study and to learn about or
the Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia provides a master program of laws and notarial law and doctorate program of laws. All educational programs in the Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia are supported by lecturers who are competent in their field of expertise. A number of professors from various universities abroad are often invited to share the international knowledge with the students. The lecturers in this faculty always take their active part in the global network, besides having great enthusiasm in sharing knowledge about law and justice to the public. The students of the Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia make their studies in a cozy and comfortable environment. The facilities for study help the students to follow the international standard learning process. These facilities bring new levels of creation and space progression. Where the flags of science and culture are waving incessantly, the students are motivated to reach outstanding achievements within the national scale as well as international scale.
I have really had any doubt in my mind about choosing the place where I wanted to be in the national and international landscape. Faculty of Law University of Indonesia, my dream. Number one there, the place that I want to study, seeing how the students are achieving their dreams, their goals, seeing how the teachers are accelerating their achievement and also their skills. I think there's no reason why any of you students are not still considering a place where you want to continue your study. Don't hesitate. Choose public hospital.
The Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia has an active role to build and protect the integrity of the nation by creating future global professionals in law and justice. The Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia isn't just a law school. It's much more than that. It's a tradition.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start this event, we would like to play the video about the safety induction.
Datang. Saat ini kita sedang berada di ruang bawah dengan Joko Sutomo dan dua Fakultas Hukum Universitas Indonesia. Sebelum memulai aktivitas di ruang ini, mari kita ikuti sebuah virtual. Jika terjadi di sana, maka segera keluar melalui pintu yang ada di ruangan ini. Di dalam ruangan ini terdapat satu pintu utama dan satu pintu darurat. Ikutilah petunjuk arah evakuasi yang akan dipanggil oleh petugas menuju pintu darurat tersebut. Utamakanlah ibu hamil, lansia, atau wanita yang memiliki penyakit kronis. Jangan menggunakan sepatu berkaki. Jika terjadi kebakaran,
Yang nyalain di podium siapa ntar ya? Yang nyalain di podium. Yang nyalain mic-nya belum nyala. Pengen neken doang sih.
Tinggal ditekan.
Segera menuju pintu dari mereka.
Ini aku jagain nggak?
Ketua guru yang menggunakan pintu basahan
Anak-anak magang bisa nggak anak magang?
kelola secara bergantian dan terakhir dan memiliki arahan tugas guru bahwa yang membantu sekolah Fakultas Hukum Universitas Indonesia. Jika terjadi gempa bumi, harap jangan panik. Ikuti petunjuk evakuasi berikut ini. Usahakan berlindung di bawah meja atau mendalam sejenis atau menuju tempat yang aman di dalam ruang. Jika gempa sudah berakhir, segera bergerak menuju pintu darurat terdekat yang berjarak jauh. Mengikuti arahan petugas perlindungan.
Nyalain doang sih, Mbak. Tengah neken doang sih. Masukin aja kali masuk.
Jika sudah berada dasar, segeralah mengumpulkan di area atau
Habis ini.
hingga ada
Pas Indonesia Raya, Mas standby di sini. Habis ini masih pemekaran terus pembukaan. Masih 5 menit lagi.
Cobalah untuk memastikan jumlah rekan yang bersama dengan Anda. Hendaknya Anda berhati-hati dalam makan, karena terdapat potensi terkandung akibat sambungan kabel listrik yang melintang, lantai licin, dan turunan atau tanjakan anak. Apabila listrik padam, jangan panik, karena genset akan segera menghubungkan kembali listrik padam. Seluruh warga yang berada di dalam lingkungan kampus Universitas Indonesia dilarang merokok. Lokasi toilet berada di depan gedung balai sidang. Lokasi musola berada di sebelah utara gedung balai sidang. Lokasi sarjana berada di sebelah utara gedung balai sidang. Demikian prosedur evakuasi yang kami sampaikan. Kami harap Anda tetap tenang jika terjadi keadaan darurat. Ikuti instruksi dari petugas penanggung jawab gedung Fakultas Hukum Universitas Indonesia. Terima kasih dan selamat melanjutkan aktivitas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second IP and Innovation Researchers of Asia Conference. We would like to say welcome to the honorable guests, to the representative of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, Ms. Mi Usihan SHMH, Director of Universitas Indonesia, Profesor Ari Kuncoro, SAMA PhD and staff, Dean of Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia, Dr. Edmond Makarim S1 SHMH and staff, and all the honorable speakers and also all the participants. First of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Fira Arwala, and it's such an honor for me to be an MC for this event until this event ends. This event, IPIRA, was created last year in 2019 as an annual initiative of the IP and Innovation Researchers of Asia Network to provide a forum for intellectual exchange between researchers interested in IP and innovation, law in Asia and beyond. This year, the second IPIRA conference includes a workshop for researchers to discuss and share their respective research topics and methodologies. And this year, Faculty of Law Universitas Indonesia is the host of the event. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start this event, let's sing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up.
Indonesia,
Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the opening ceremony today, we would like to invite the Honorable Rector of Universitas Indonesia to give an opening remark to Professor Ari Kunchoro, SA MA PhD. The floor is yours.
His Excellency, Minister of Law and Human Rights Republic of Indonesia, represented by Mrs. Min Husin, as Senior Advisor for Social Affairs for Minister of Law and Human Rights. Distinguished representative of the World Intellectual Property Organization, Mr. Mohamed Abdullah. Distinguished representative of World Trade Organization, Mr. Anthony Taufman. Director General of the Intellectual Property of Indonesia, Dr. Freddy Habis, or his representative. Dean of Faculty of Law, University of Indonesia, Dr. Edmond Makarim, and all of the Faculty of Lecture, Researcher, and students. Distinguished Professor Agus Sarjono, the Chairman of the Indonesia Intellectual Property Academy. Distinguished Professor Irene Calvoli from Texas A&M University School of Law. Distinguished Professor Jacques de Vera from University of Geneva. Distinguished representative from International Trademark Association, and all distinguished speakers and guests. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning. Praise to Allah the Almighty for all His blessings, where today we put together here in order to attend the second international conference of Intellectual Property and Innovation Research Asia Network, IPIRA. It is an honor to welcome you all in our campus, Universitas Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, at Universitas Indonesia, social capital is something that is considered very important. Social capital is a collection of networks of people and all the positive impact of interaction that occur between people. Social capital is a resource that is able to make organizations grow, develop, and be resilient in facing various problems and competition. Indonesia even has a proverb to describe the importance of social capital, namely, bersatu kita teguh, bercerai kita runtuh, or in English, united we stand, divided we fall. Today, I'm very happy because with this IPIRA conference, it is not only social capital of UI that is growing better, but also the social capital of the participant and speaker at this conference. I'm sure at this conference, you will not only have the opportunity to publish the latest research results, but also have the opportunity to make new friends, learn new cultures, and gain new experiences. With your presence today at UI, I'm sure there are so many opportunities that are wide open that have been waiting for you in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, social network in the field of intellectual property is very strategic. That is because the field of intellectual property is very closely related to trade, both at the domestic and international level. The greater the contribution of innovative product or creative economic product, the greater the level of significance of intellectual property in the world of commerce. So borrowing from the Nobel laureate in economics 2018, the wealth of nation determined no longer by commodity but by technology and innovation. This in turn gave birth to the need for competent people who have extensive network in the field of intellectual property. Broad network become the important keyword. As you know, the protection of intellectual property rights is largely national, while trade dynamic, especially those on a large scale, tend to be international. Those people who have scientific knowledge and who have social network within the scope of intellectual property in several countries will be highly needed. I urge you all to take advantage of this good momentum to expand and strengthen your social capital. Ladies and gentlemen, along with the significant prospect of the influence of this field of intellectual property, we also need to be aware of the potential for its misuse and the potential for tension in the trade sector related to the regulation or violation of intellectual property rights. As academics, as researchers, we need to be detailed in observing the dynamic that occur and are critical of various developments that can have a counterproductive impact on society. It is the duty of researchers to give warning to the public about matters in the field of intellectual property that have the potential to bring harm and describe solutions to overcome them. I believe that in this second IPIRA conference forum, all of you will exchange ideas dynamically, critically, and constructively. I hope all of you will enjoy the activities while in UI, and I thank you to all who have worked hard to bring this conference to matter. Finally, I say congratulations and have a nice conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Ali, for the remark. And we will stay on the stage. To Professor Ali, you may stay on the stage because we would like to invite also the Dean of Faculty of Law, University of Indonesia, Dr. Edmund Magari, and also the representative from the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, Ms. Uzihan, to the stage to hit the gong as a sign to open this event. Once again, thank you so much to Professor Ali Kujero, to Dr. Edmund Magari, and also to Ms. Uzihan. And this event is officially open. Thank you. You may have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, next, we would like to hear an introduction by organizer. We would like to invite the organizer to the stage, to the Honorable Professor Agus Sarjono, the representative from Faculty of Law, Universitas Indonesia, to Ms. Megan Han, the representative from WPO, to Ms. Irene Kalboli, the representative from Texas A&M University School of Law and School of Law, University of Geneva, and Mr. Jack Durera, the representative from School of Law, University of Geneva. The floor is yours. First of all, I would like to invite Professor Agus Rajana to open the organization to the podium. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all of you. I feel honored to welcome all of you, the participants who have come from all over the world. Welcome to Indonesia. Welcome to Universitas Indonesia. This conference is an important event in the development of intellectual property rights system. I hope you had a pleasant journey here, despite all the commotion due to the coronavirus outbreak. Thankfully, the impact of that has been very minimal so far in Indonesia. Praise be to God. I hope all of you can attend this conference in good health. To make this quick, sorry if I couldn't mention one by one all the honor guests that are here with us, but we are very thankful for your presence. I hope your participation in the second IPIRA conference can advance our collective knowledge, especially in the IPIRA domain all over the world. IPIRA is not limited to just law. That's why we hope this conference can generate a lot of fresh ideas on how we can move IPR forward. We are especially interested to see progress on how IPR connects with the development of technology, since that is one of the major factors that influence business and society as a whole. Higher education institutions such as Universitas Indonesia needs to take a big part in this effort. We do hope that your participation will bring a big impact or even a major change in how we think about IPR so that it can keep up with the ever-changing landscape of society. As a host, I highly appreciate your participation. We are very thankful to the Directorate General Kekayaan Intelektual Republik Indonesia for all their support, especially for their financial support that has made this conference possible. Thank you. We also would like to express our appreciation and gratitude to the Rector of Universitas Indonesia, or ARI, and their leadership team, including the Dean of Faculty of Law, Dr. Edmund Makarim. We offer special thanks to Prof. Irene Calaboli for her tireless effort to make this conference happen. Thank you all. Thank you also to WTO, WIPO Academy, and University of Geneva for all their support in making this conference a success. Last but not least, I personally would like to offer my deepest thanks to all my juniors who have worked day and night to ensure the smooth sailing of this conference. They are the real engine that made all this possible. As a final word, I'd like to say welcome to all participants. Enjoy the conference and hopefully we all get a wonderful experience from it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you to the And next, we would like to invite Ms. Megan McCann, the representative from VPO, to the podium. Video conference. Okay, we would like to play the video conference first from Mr. Muhammad Abdullah, the representative from VPO.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good morning to you all. Let me, on behalf of WIPO, welcome all participants and guests to the second edition of the IPIRA conference and workshop. Following last year's IPIRA conference in Kuala Lumpur, WIPO is delighted to welcome you in Jakarta. Special thank you to our hosts, Universitas Indonesia, and our partners, WTO, Texas A&M University, and the University of Geneva, for their excellent cooperation in organizing this event. I regret not being able to meet and greet everyone in person, but I hope and trust that you will have an enriching and pleasant time in Jakarta. I extend my deepest gratitude to our keynote speakers, Dr. Freddie Harris, Director General of Intellectual Property, and the Honorable Aigusti Agung Sumanata, Justice of the Supreme Court, for gracing this occasion with their presence. This conference would of course not be possible without the enthusiasm and presence of the IP academics and researchers who participate as presenters, panelists, and chairs. I thank them sincerely for agreeing to present their work to us in the conference. One of WIPO's strategic goals is to facilitate access through the WIPO Academy to high-quality IP education and training, and to support higher education and academic research in IP, especially in developing countries, least developed countries, and countries with economies in transition. As a result, a number of universities across the world, including an ever-expanding network in Asia, have cooperated closely with WIPO in introducing and offering IP education. In alignment with WIPO's goals, our conference brings together a community of leading IP professors and researchers from Asia and other continents, creating opportunities for academic collaborations, policy conversations, and exchange of ideas. I'm sure this conference will be a great opportunity for all of you to get an in-depth insight into numerous contemporary and interesting IP issues from an Asian perspective. Let me conclude by thanking very sincerely Professor Ari Pongpuru, Rector of Universitas Indonesia, Dr. Edmund Matai, Dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor Agus Sarjono, Professor Irene Calaboli, Professor Jacques de Vera, and Mr. Anthony Tobman, and their respective teams for their invaluable contributions and cooperation and their efforts in organizing this event. Once again, welcome to the second IPIRA conference, and wish you a successful and fruitful meeting and discussions. Thank you.
Let's see the video conference from Sir Muhammad Abdul. And next, the introductions from we would like to play the other video from Sir Anthony.
Good morning, dear colleagues and friends. On behalf of the World Trade Organization, I'm delighted to be able to welcome you to this, the second IP and Innovation Researchers of Asia Conference, the second IPIRA Conference. I would like above all to acknowledge and thank the host institution, in particular the Rector of the Universitas of Indonesia, Professor Ari Kokoro, and my good friend, Professor Agus Satono, of the Faculty of Law. This faculty is indeed well recognized as a leading center of research and teaching IP in the Asian region, and it therefore offers an ideal location for this week's conference. I'm certain also that the traditional Indonesian hospitality will be offered, and you may feel very much at home here. I also express our appreciation to our friends and colleagues in the Waikato Academy. This long-standing partnership has been indispensable, but also highly agreeable in building academic networks and in promoting cutting-edge research in this region and beyond it. Our special thanks go to the academic driving forces behind this initiative, Professor Irene Carboni and Professor Jacques Devere. Our partnership with the academic community is a vital ingredient of the World Trade Organization's work, and it's essential if this work is to remain up to date and relevant to our diverse membership. The drive and enthusiasm of these two amazing academics, their willingness to work together with us has been truly infectious and has been hugely productive. So thank you. I'd like also to thank my colleague Megan McCann, who is representing the World Trade Organization throughout this conference and who brings her own deep understanding of IP law and policy to your deliberations. I'm personally very sorry that ill health has kept me away from the conference. There are so many good friends and valued colleagues there who I'd love to catch up with. I do hope very much that there will be a next time for IPIRA, in which case I look forward to seeing you all next time. However, this year, 2020, marks a significant milestone for the World Trade Organization. It was established exactly 25 years ago, in fact. This, therefore, marks a quarter century since the TRIPS agreement came into force, and 25 years of the WTO's cooperation with WIPO. Much less significantly, 25 years ago, I personally commenced work in the Asia-Pacific Bureau of WIPO, working with the IP community, academics, and policymakers across this region at that time. From that vantage point, and with experience since then, I can say I've been profoundly impressed to see the development of a community of independently minded, well-informed, collegial and engaged, highly skilled IP scholars in this region. The research, teaching and engagement in policy processes of academics in this region have, in my view, been a critical factor in enabling Asian countries to take up the general principles of IP law policy and to adapt and apply them effectively and appropriately in response to their distinct needs, circumstances and legal and cultural environment. Hence, we have seen in the TRIPS era in particular a transition from an early rule-taking approach of effectively taking the necessary steps to comply with the treaty, an approach I might say very prevalent for many countries in this region in the 1990s, to a more adaptive and informed development of IP law and policy, blending domestic interests and practice with international developments, still guided by the international framework, but engaging with international processes and institutions more actively. This is, of course, a continuing process as IP systems and IP law and policy naturally evolve and adapt. IP policymakers themselves have to be creative and inventive at times. So the IPIRA initiative and the general ongoing effort to promote scholarship and academic networks across this region could not be more timely and valuable. I just wish I could be there with you. The packed and fascinating program we have in front of you, and the range, depth, and quality of scholars who are present give me great confidence that the second IPIRA conference will build on the success of the first and will promote further momentum in this already very dynamic region. I wish you all the very best and look forward to hearing how the conference goes. Cameron,
Next, the video conference from Mr. Anthony Palmer from Intellectual Property, Government Procurement and Competition Division, World Trade Organization. And next, we would like to invite Mr. Professor Jack Torreira, from the representative from the School of Law, University of Geneva. Please give applause.
Dear Rector of Universitas Indonesia, the Dean of the Law School, distinguished speakers and guests, dear colleagues, dear students, researchers and friends, it is a great honor and a great privilege for me personally to be here with you today, and more generally for the University of Geneva School of Law to be co-hosting this event here. University of Geneva is extremely proud to be part of this initiative, and we're extremely happy to be part of it from the beginning, which started last year in Kuala Lumpur, and we're very, very happy and privileged to be continuing on that effort and project. There are various reasons for that. I think it's very important to realize that IPIRA is not only relevant here in Asia, but it is really relevant globally. Because as we know, we live in a globalized world, we live in a globalized economy in which IP assets, intangible assets, play a significant role. So the discussions which are taking place here in the coming days, which actually we already initiated on the car on the way here this morning with Professor Agus this morning, show how global these issues are. And it's very important for us to realize that and to make sure that we have a common understanding of these challenging issues that we face in this global digitalized economy. And being based in Geneva, and of course it's an immense privilege for us at university to be working and to be next door to the global institutions which play a significant role in the global IP system, WIPO and WIPO Academy and WTO, which gives me the opportunity, of course, to thank them for this most valued partnership in this project as well as in other projects. This chance that we have to be based in Geneva should not lead us to forget that not everything obviously takes place in Geneva. It's very important also to realize that other perspectives are as important, and I would say even more important, than what's happening in the Geneva ecosystem. So IPIRA, in a nutshell, is very important, not only, as I was saying, in Asia, but globally, and in order to offer different perspectives on issues that we face jointly. And I think it's important also to realize that IPIRA is not only important for us academics, it's also very important for the global IP community and also for the global IP policymakers. So one key element from my perspective of IPIRA is also to bring together the different stakeholders who play a significant role in the IP ecosystem, not only academics, but also IP policymakers and also the market players, because as we all know, it's only if we manage to find ways to combine the perspectives of the stakeholders that we will be in a position to make progresses on this front. IPIRA is obviously a collective effort and a massive effort which has been made by all the partners and especially by our hosts here at the Universitas Indonesia. So it's also very important for us at University of Geneva, who's a remote partner, so to say, to thank you very deeply for all the work that you've put into organizing this, and to make sure that we will benefit a lot from the discussion that we will have in the coming hours and weeks. So, terima kasih to all and to all the organizers. It's very, very important for us to also express our deepest gratitude on that front. As the rector indicated earlier, and this will be my final points, even though in the digital age a lot can be done remotely, a lot can be done online, what ultimately counts is social capital. Social capital is key, and that means concretely that we are all encouraged to make the most of our physical presence here. As we know and already reflected, it may have been a challenge for some of us to travel because of the circumstances that we know. But now that we're here, I think it's very, very important for us to make the most of every minute that we have together to build, as you perfectly indicated, to build our social capital, to make sure that we benefit not only from the scientific formal discussion that we will have in the sessions, but also from the informal discussions that we can have over coffee. Because as we know, and this is part of creativity and part of innovation, sometimes 1 minute discussion can lead to a very interesting project or to a scientific idea. So I really strongly encourage all of us, and I will certainly do so quite actively, to make the most out of our presence here. So let me conclude by thanking the organizer once again for their wonderful organization. Let me also give a special thank to my colleague Irene Calverley. As all of you know, or should know, Irene Calverley is really a driving force behind many projects. She's been working with the team here a lot in the last days, also in other circumstances. So I really would like to express my personal deep gratitude to her for all the work. Let me finally wish you all very pleasant and very successful IPIRA discussions. I'm looking forward to interacting with as many of you as possible in the coming days. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Professor Jeff IPIRA from the representative from School of Law, University of Geneva. And next, we would like to invite Professor Irene Calverley, the representative from Texas A&M University School of Law and School of Law, University of Geneva. Please give applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ministers, representative. Good morning, rector of the University of Indonesia. Good morning, dear colleagues, dear friends. Welcome, as everybody before me has said, to the second IPIRA conference. It is a pleasure to see you. It is even more a pleasure to see you because these, I would say, are special time, probably are not, fortunately, are not as special because maybe we have a bit more exaggerations about situation outside, but certainly these times are a bit more turbulent than they would be last year, and hopefully we go back to boring soon in the next few weeks. I want to thank all of you for traveling. Some of you travel from very far. Some of you have taken leaves just to be able to come here, and that means a lot to all of us. We are a family. IPIRA is a family. We are on our second edition, but as you know, many of you came to the conference we organized before in Singapore as well. And as my colleague has said, we have really created a movement. Asia intellectual property is bringing people and global actors from across the world, and we're just starting. You know, we are already thinking about the third IPIRA, and most importantly, we hope that you all will connect dots with each other, will invite each other, will contribute to each other, growth, scholarship, workshops, and so on and so forth. I know that out of our previous conferences, more synergies have been created, and that's precisely what we hope to obtain. There is many people to say thanks to. There is the people here on the ground that have been working tirelessly to organize the most perfect conference, the students, the colleagues, the administrative assistants. Mrs. Annie, Marlene, and I have been working every day for the past probably months and really trying to give you the best hospitality, and Universitas Indonesia has to be thanked heartfully for all the real amazing work they have done for us. The WIPO Academy, WTO, been incredible supporters. They help us, they guide us, they give us branding, they give us support in many ways, and we are deeply, deeply grateful. In the next days, you are going to listen to each other, learn from each other, comment on each other's work. I know it will be 2 wonderful days, so let's take advantage of it, and remember that tonight we're going to have a wonderful cultural evening. Professor Sarjono, who is a professor musician, is organized with his team a wonderful event for all of us. So also for that, we're very grateful. Without further ado, help me with a big applause to thank Universitas Indonesia for everything that Professor Sarjono, Professor Rivera, and all of you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Professor Ivan, representative from Texas A&M University School of Law and School of Law, University of Geneva. And last is the introduction from Ms. Megan McCann, the Okay, thank you to all the organizers. Please give applause to our organizers. You may sit, you may have a seat. Thank you so much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we would like to invite the Honorable Ms. Wen Ushihan, SHMH, to give a keynote speech. Please give applause to Ms. Ushihan, SHMH, as the representative from the Ministry of Law and Human Rights.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Rector of University of Indonesia, Dean of the Faculty of Law, Universitas of Indonesia, representative from international organizations and universities in Asia and counterparts IPIRA conference, all national and international speakers who are experts and researchers in intellectual property, guests and participants of the second IPIRA conference. First of all, let us say thanks to God for His grace that we can gather in this place today. I would like to extend my warm thanks from Minister of Law and Human Rights to all members of the panel and all the concerned professionals from the School of Law and organization, government, academia, media, and intellectual property organizations who have gathered here today for the second Intellectual Property and Innovation Researchers of Asia Conference. Excellencies, distinguished participants, the gig economy is a backbone as well as the main direction in the new era of economy in the current 4.0 industrial revolution. The three periods of economic sector that have been passed are starting from an agriculture-based economy, continue to an industrial economy, evolved to an information economy until it ended in the current area of creative economy. The role of intellectual property in the new era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 has a very important position. Intellectual property as a foundation of a creative economy is expected to be a competitive advantage as well as a driver to be a competitive a driver of the national economy. For the reason, special attention and high commitment are needed to developing and advance the creative economy of all stakeholders, ranging from business, academic to the government. Creative economic era is an era of the added value creation through ideas development, creativity, and innovation. It is an era where competitiveness of human resources is useful key factor to compete and win the global economy. This is in line with the direction of President Joko Widodo in the second period of his leadership, where the factor of superior human rights becomes the main concern, including human rights of civil servant apparatus. The Ministry of Law and Human Rights has responded this policy by pioneering the formation of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights as a corporate university to prepare qualified civil servants in carrying out their duties and functions and working more smartly, effectively, efficient, and professional. Excellencies, distinguished participants, policy developing creative economy as a new direction in our national economic era has made three goals major aspects. The three goals of creative economic development. First, IP-based financing, which is expected to elevate access of creative economy to obtain financing in developing their creative economic venture. Second, increasing recognition to creativity and IPR is expected to raise public awareness and importance to creativity and IPR. Lastly, intellectual property protection aims to enhance protection and utilization of intellectual property for economic creative venture. These three goals require active collaboration from all IP stakeholders, particularly from Ministry of Law. It's a challenge as well as the Ministry of Law and Human Rights through the Director General of Intellectual Property as a focal point on the Ministry in achieving the goals. Indonesia is the first country in terms of culture and natural resources. Widely renowned as a mega diversity country, Indonesia must explore and exploit its potential in natural resources and human resources to give contribution in supporting national development and national welfare. Utilization and management of geographical indication-based products need to be encouraged so that they can compete in global markets. Such product that is based on geographical potential of Indonesia is known as geographical indication, which is inseparable from intellectual property, especially communal intellectual property. Communal intellectual property consists of geographical indication, traditional cultural expression, traditional knowledge, genetic resources. Considering the mega diversity of Indonesia's potential, It's also absolutely true that we have broad and great amount of potential in communal intellectual property. Protection to communal intellectual property can develop competitiveness and benefit local communities as well as improve regional economic activities, among the other things, by creating employment opportunities. Distinguished participants, the Ministry of Law and Human Rights commit interest and developing countries in relation to rights of local communities to preserve, to protect and develop communal intellectual property of cultural heritage. Protection to rights of local community, indigenous people or custodian is in line with traditional knowledge and traditional cultural expression as a strategic step in protecting Indonesia and worldwide natural resources and culture. Communal intellectual property does not work only bring benefit economic but also ecological, tourism, social culture, and most importantly, national identity. Accordingly, any efforts to campaign the center of the general intellectual property protection and especially communal intellectual property protection becomes our concern. We truly appreciate such as initiative, including programs initiated by academics such as symposium, scientific seminar, or conference as our today's event. Such initiative for academic, experts, and researchers in intellectual property to organize an annual meeting to discuss and find solutions to problematic issues of intellectual property and to offer insights should be responded appropriately. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of state administration in fact not only to responsibility of public officials, but also of the general public. Moreover, scholars play significant roles in presenting fresh and solution-based to address current issues and challenges. Most developed countries have embraced research and developed culture as their priority activities. Rapid development of technology, innovation, and cutting-edge products some come from research and development. Research and development should be an integral part of our lives that we can improve and move forward. Conducting research and development would indeed affect economy, education, social, and other sectors in society. The spirit of research and development is an inherent principle of three pillars of the higher education, three Dharma perguruan tinggi, that guide all the universities in Indonesia to harmonize their internal roles in academic and external roles to give contribution to national development. Distinguished speaker and participant, before closing my remarks, allow me to express my highest appreciation and warm welcome to all academic researchers and experts in intellectual property who are representing respective institutions and countries to attend and participate in the second IPIRA conference. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Ms. the representative of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, Representative Dr. Freddie Harris, as the Director General of Intellectual Property, Ministry of Law and Human Rights. But we would like to give a token of appreciation to Ms. Mehdi as the representative of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. The token will be given by the Rector of Universitas Indonesia, Professor Ali Buncoro, and also the Dean of Faculty of Law, Universitas Indonesia, Dr. Edwin Bakari, and also the representative from the organizer. I also would like to invite the organizers too. And we will take the photo session. We would like to also invite Professor Umar. To take a photo. Okay. We would like to also invite all the guests, to the honorable guests, to also take the photo sessions together. Please give applause, audience. Okay, thank you so much. Please give applause once more. Ladies and gentlemen, after this, we would like to have a morning tea break. But before we start the morning tea break, we would like to take a photo session at the auditorium. So you have to move to the auditorium. The committee will invite you to the auditorium. And after that, at 10:55, we will start our panel session. So we would like to remind you to look at the guide where the room. Thank you.